Hey, how's it going? Drew here with Angel Eye, PayPal partner, certified developer. We do a lot of stuff related to PayPal. You may know us already. If not, check out our site. You can check out our YouTube channel. You can get all sorts of tips and tricks on PayPal and WordPress and WooCommerce, how to take payments, and a lot more than that. Today, we're going to focus on our PayPal for WooCommerce plugin that we recently updated to version 3.0. This update is a pretty major update that adds all of the brand new PayPal APIs. It's called PayPal Complete Payments, and it's a stack that basically includes everything. So it's got the PayPal checkout, credit cards, Venmo, then we got our buy now, pay later, which we're going to talk about here pretty specifically, PayPal credit. Everything basically that PayPal provides is available in a single integration now. So it's pretty nice. It's a lot easier to get up and running, onboarded into the plugin, and get selling right away. Again, today we're going to look at buy now, pay later, which is a separate piece. It's interesting, or it's easy to think about PayPal as just simply sending or receiving payments. And okay, fine. It does that, obviously, and it does that very well. But it does a whole lot more than that. So this buy now, pay later example is part of their PayPal credit line, where it's kind of financing options. They have different interest-free types of ways to use financing. And that's what we want to focus on today. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article. With the release of the plugin, we've got some new content that we're putting out as well, just kind of talking about all the features of complete payments. And buy now, pay later is one of those major pieces. So it's something that you as the seller can have on your site, and it can be beneficial to you and your potential buyers. As a consumer or shopper online, it's something that's beneficial to you because you can use it to spread out your payments, work within your budget a little more, maybe get the things you need now and spread it out over time so that you can work, again, within your budget. So let's take a look here. We put together this article. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. If you want to read it all, of course you can. This is just sort of a video companion that goes along with it. So Pay in 4 and PayPal credit. Give your sales a boost with Pay Later. No additional cost to you and your business. So that's important. This is something that just comes with PayPal. Now, of course, when you take when you take payments with PayPal, you're going to pay your PayPal fee. That's completely based on your account and what you've negotiated with PayPal and what your rates are. The use of buy now, pay later isn't going to change that at all. There's no monthly fee or anything like that. There's no add-ons to the regular payment fees that you're paying. So no worries there. Basically, it will just add these little banners to your site if you want them. It's optional, but you can have this messaging. It's definitely recommended. Whenever these are displayed throughout the site, it just kind of gives buyers that awareness that, hey, this is available. We can offer you this financing. So even if you don't have your own credit cards or you don't want to apply, you can do this through PayPal credit or PayPal pay later and get some of those same benefits without hitting your credit or anything like that. So again, we got an intro here. It kind of talks about some of that and basically just giving your buyers more ways to pay or more ways to buy. Again, Pay in 4, PayPal credit, it's all tied into PayPal checkout. So if you're using our PayPal for WooCommerce plugin, all you got to do is enable the PayPal checkout gateway, and all of this is going to be included for you. So what is it? Well, again, it's basically an installment plan. Pay later will spread that payment across bi-weekly payments, and it'll be the same amount every 2 weeks until it's paid in full. So it allows the buyer to spread it out a little bit. Again, it allows the seller to offer that option to buyers, and it can just help both sides to go ahead and see that purchase take place. A little quick look on how it works. On the blog article, you can read this, and it's a little easier to see. Basically, there's some ads or the messaging showing you that Pay Later, PayPal credit would be available. Whenever they go to checkout, they can choose that option during checkout. If they've never done it before, it'll have them do a very quick kind of a background check. Again, it's not hitting your credit. It's not going to affect your credit at all. PayPal just runs a check and makes sure they usually instantly approves. And then once you pay that way, the payment goes through just like normal. Seller side receives the full payment, and the buyer side can sit back. You don't have to wait on statements or make payments like you would with credit cards or anything like that. PayPal just triggers those payments for you until it's paid in full. So again, this is kind of hard to see probably in this case, but if we switch over to my little demo site here, we can get a look at what that messaging looks like. There's different ways to display the messaging, so we'll go through each of those here. this is a banner, obviously, and it talks about pay in 4 interest-free payments on qualifying purchases. So while people are browsing your site, they'll see this message and become aware, hey, there's this option of pay in 4. Okay, pay later. That's cool. If we click on the banner, it gives us some more details about it. 4 interest-free payments every 2 weeks starting today. No impact to your credit score. And this will work between $30 and $1,500. So if we click over here, we got PayPal Credit, which is their other option. Can be 6 months financing. So pay over time, 6 months financing on $100 or more. No money due today. So you got kind of different options there. And this one, again, it's more the credit side. For this video, we're focused on pay in 4. And it's simply going to spread it out. So now the buyer knows, okay, great, there's this option. Maybe I'll shop a little more, or maybe I'll buy some more things because I know I can spread it out or spend a little more money one way or another. If we click into a product here, we can see kind of how it's displayed here. We have another message instead of a banner. It's just kind of a text ad. Again, if we click on that, it'll show us some details about pay in 4, all that same info. And again, here we can click over to see the PayPal credit side of things if we want to. We're back to pay in 4. So again, this is just kind of how PayPal helps to make your buyers aware of all these options. And from the product page, we can say PayPal, we could say pay later, or we could go ahead and add to the cart. From the cart, we'll see that once again, we have some messaging, we have our PayPal option, pay later, or proceed to checkout. If we go ahead and proceed to checkout, on the checkout page, we've got all of our test info filling out here. And once again, we have our messaging, we have our PayPal option, our pay later option, and then our advanced credit card option, which is now built into complete payments as well. That's pretty cool, but that's for another video. So let's go ahead and complete an order here with pay later. If I click on the pay later button, that's going to go ahead and have me log into a PayPal account. We're using the Sandbox here, so I'm just going to use one of my Sandbox buyer accounts. And we'll see this loads with the pay later option automatically showing up here. And again, we've got our PayPal credit, or we've got our pay in 4. So let's go ahead and choose our pay in 4, and it verifies here we want to continue with pay in 4. Okay, great. And now it's going to show us our schedule when these payments are going to be due. So $13 today in this particular order, $13 the 18th, $13 December 3rd, $13 December 18th. So again, no sign-up fees, no interest, payments are automatic, no impact to your credit score. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and continue. So now it's just going to have some confirmation for my info here. Again, this isn't going to hit credit, it's just verifying some stuff for PayPal. I'm going to go ahead and agree and apply. And now I can choose an auto pay option. So how do I want to trigger, whenever they trigger those payments automatically, what payment method do I want them to pull from? So in this case, I'll go ahead and just choose a credit card that I have linked on this PayPal test Sandbox account. I'll go ahead and say I agree, and I'm going to agree and continue. So now it's got I've been approved for pay in 4, pretty much instant, and breaks down again my pay in 4 divided. I can see the schedule again here, exactly how this is all going to work. All right, go ahead and pay now. So my order's complete. As the buyer, I paid my first payment today. The order comes through with the full total, and the seller will receive that full total. But again, as it showed in the schedule, as the buyer, I'm done. I don't have to think about this anymore. PayPal will automatically trigger those payments every 2 weeks until it's paid off in full. So that's basically the gist of kind of how it looks and how it feels on the website for the buyer side. So let's talk about some of the benefits of, why you want to make sure as a merchant or as a seller, why you want to make sure and offer this to your buyers. Basically, as I've mentioned, it just gives people more options. The more options you have for buyers to pay for things, the more likely they are to go ahead and pay. When they're able to spread it across payments like this or installments, it's also shown that they might spend a little more. They might go ahead and finish that checkout when they wouldn't have and add an extra item to it maybe. So let's look at, there's been some studies that PayPal ran on this. So this was from a third party, Logica Research and Netfluential. They studied a lot of merchants that are offering pay later on their website, and basically were able to compile like some of the benefit of it based on that research. So 64% of consumers say they are more likely to make a purchase at a retailer that offers interest-free payment options. So if 64% are more likely to do it whenever you offer that, well, you're probably going to see more orders as a result. 42% of merchants agree that buy now, pay later financing options help reduce cart abandonment. So that's never fun to see. You're looking at your website, you're looking at these shopping carts, these orders, this money that has been put together in a cart, and they're ready to buy, and then they drop off for some reason. Well, why? Maybe it was too expensive. Maybe they just weren't quite ready. Maybe they didn't feel like they had the options they needed. It didn't fit within their budget. By allowing this pay later feature, again, 42% of merchants agree that they saw an increase in their, I should say, a decrease in their cart abandonments, so an increase in their actual completed orders. 56% of consumers agree that they prefer to pay a purchase back in installments rather than use a credit card. So again, it's just kind of a personal preference with consumers and how they like to shop, but the consensus here, 56%, shows that they feel better with installments. They know it's interest-free. You don't have to worry about not paying something on time and then having the interest go way up on you. It gets taken care of on its own. You don't have to think about it. So it's just easier for people to, feel comfortable with it and go ahead and move forward. 50% of consumers agree they can manage their expenses better if they can buy some things now and pay for them later. So again, kind of like a credit card, you're getting it now, but you're going to put it off and pay for it later, but without the worry of the stuff that comes with a credit card or a line of credit in most cases. And again, that's typically if you don't pay it on time, you're going to have late fees, you're going to have high interest, and it can snowball badly for you very quickly. With installments, it just takes care of itself. There's no interest, you don't have to worry about it. 60% of millennial consumers agree that paying overtime, that seeing a pay overtime message early in the shopping experience gives them confidence that they will be able to pay for their purchase. So again, it just makes them feel good, makes them feel a little better about their purchase and fitting it within their budget. And so again, these come from merchants who have had this installed on their website and consumers who've been using it. Another similar test, also out by Netfluential, and this one was more specific. November 2020, they had 1,000 online shoppers aged 18 to 39, so going after that millennial kind of market there. Of those 1,000 people that were interviewed or you took this study, 79% of them rate trust as the most important factor when paying online. So there's so much fraud out there these days. It's hard to know when you're paying, like, are they going to receive it, or is this a scam? Am I going to end up getting, are they actually going to send the product? There's all sorts of stuff that can make it hard to shop online. Well, PayPal's got that brand, they got the history, they got the security, and 79% of people want that trust. And so of course having that trusted brand like PayPal is a good thing to be tying into your site and using for offers like this, for credit offers. 71% of consumers, again in this 18 to 39 range, are more likely to trust businesses that offer their preferred payment method. So as we've talked about, a lot of them prefer to use installments, and 71% of them are more likely to trust you if you do have installments as an option. So again, this whole trust factor, building that trust and having those options that they want, it just makes them feel good. It makes them feel trustworthy about you, and they're going to complete that payment when they might not have otherwise. 28% more likely to shop at a merchant again if they offer buy now, pay later. So getting that repeat customer, getting them coming back to your site, getting that extra traffic, just because they know, hey, if I'm going to buy this thing, I remember these guys allowed me to spread that out over a, pay in 4, whereas if I go somewhere else, I don't have that option. So it'll bring them back to your site and keep them buying from you. 53% of customers in this range, they want to keep their financial information secure. Obviously, that's kind of a given. Again, just talking about this trust factor, 68% of millennial and Gen Z shoppers have used PayPal. So it's a very, a lot of them know it. They've used it, they understand it, and they're ready to clickety-click, make their payments and make it all nice and easy. So it's a win for your business, kind of repeating some of the same stuff here. Increased sales, it gives them more spending power, so more options and more power. If I don't have all that cash today, I might not be able to make that order, but if I can spread it out over these installments, I can go ahead and do that. So I've got increased power, I can get that done. Easy promotion, it's got the messaging throughout your site. Again, what we looked at, there's options for how to display this stuff. Again, the banner here, you could put text here on the product pages. You can have text or banners, you can move them around. The plugin has settings for all that. Again, we got documentation and other videos that will show you more of the specifics of how to configure the plugin. Here we just want to kind of look at all of what exactly this is and what it can do for you. So no added cost, just reiterating the fact that as a seller there's going to be no extra fees, nothing added on to your transaction fees, nothing added on to the processing fee, nothing added to your monthly or anything like that. And then next gen shoppers connecting with that younger crowd who understands PayPal, understands online shopping, pay later options. They like to use it, and you're gonna do well with them if you have these options. So on the consumer side, I've talked a lot about, as a seller, wanting to make sure this is available for your buyers. And all of the reasons that we talked about on the buyer side, it kind of gives you that. Having a lot of options, having different ways to fit within your budget, having different promotions based on how much your order total is and how much you can spread that out, or if and getting that interest-free option. So flexible payment. The merchant again gets paid up front, and the customers can pay later, so it'll spread it out over time. Interest-free, unlike credit cards. Obviously, there's a lot of you can play the credit card games if you want to, and cash back and that kind of stuff, but almost always people end up getting bitten because they have a late payment, and then it totally kills the whole cashback game, and you end up with late fees, and you end up with paying more interest than you would have anyway. Again, trusted brand, we talked about that. Purchasing power, kind of reiterating some of the stuff that we've discussed here. So if you have our PayPal for WooCommerce plugin already, just go to the setup guide here, and that'll send you over to our buy now, pay later integration, and it'll walk you through kind of exactly how to set this up inside your PayPal or on your website with our plugin. If you need more direct help, or if you'd like some time with me, you could schedule a meeting, and this will allow you to schedule a Google Meet with me. I'll get on a call, we can screen share, you can show me your website and all the configuration. I'll help you configure all the banners, I'll help you get it all added the way we'd recommend and what I think would be most beneficial. We can adjust some things based on your site if necessary. I can answer any questions you have and just get you up and running that way. So I know we breezed through that pretty quickly. This was just an overview of Buy Now, Pay Later, and just kind of a commentary on this article explaining about it. Again, this is all part of it's part of PayPal Complete Payments, and a lot of the features and functionality they're pushing in that, which is now, it's been included in our plugin for a while, but the new release, PayPal Complete Payments, it's got it all more tightly integrated and quick and easy to get it all turned on, and really helps out with the, again, order totals, turnovers, and getting increased totals, fewer abandonments, all the good stuff that we just talked about. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to our help desk. Again, schedule a meeting with me, look at our documentation, walk you through it. I think it'll be pretty easy for you to get up and running, and I think you're going to love it.